Have you ever asked, why is this happening to me? Why did that door close? Why did that person walk away? Why is your life not going according to your plan? What if the delay, the heartbreak, the confusion isn't a punishment but protection? What if Allah is not ignoring your prayers but answering them in a way your heart can't understand yet? Sometimes what feels like life falling apart is really Allah putting the pieces in their perfect place. Because when you truly trust Allah's plan, you stop needing to understand everything. You just hold on and believe that nothing is random, not even your pain. Allah's plan is always perfect, even when it feels confusing. My beloved brothers and sisters, there are moments in life when everything feels uncertain. You pray, you try, you wait, but things don't go the way you hoped. In those moments, your heart begins to ask, why is this happening? But know this, confusion is not a sign that Allah's plan is flawed. It's a sign that His wisdom is greater than your understanding. Allah's plan is not always revealed in comfort. It is often revealed in the silence of delay and the quiet of heartbreak. When life doesn't go your way, it doesn't mean it's going wrong. It simply means Allah is rerouting you to something better, something your eyes can't see yet, but your heart must learn to trust. Some of the most beautiful moments in your life will be born from the most painful trials. But while you're in it, it rarely makes sense. That's where your faith is tested. Not when things are clear, but when you're walking blindly, holding tightly to Allah's promise that He never wrongs His servants. Think of the story of Yusuf alayhi salam, thrown into a well, sold as a slave, wrongfully imprisoned. Nothing about his journey looked perfect until Allah revealed the full story. That's how our lives unfold too. We see one chapter at a time. Allah sees the whole book. When you don't understand why something is happening, remember, your vision is limited. You're looking at one moment, but Allah is looking at your eternity. What you think is a delay might be a divine shield. What you think is a closed door might be a door to Jannah. Sometimes we want something so badly, we believe it must be good for us. But Allah says in the Quran, you may dislike something that is good for you, and you may love something that is bad for you. Allah knows, and you do not know. 216. This is the essence of surrender, trusting the knower of the unseen. There are lessons buried inside the confusion. Maybe Allah is teaching you patience. Maybe He's removing arrogance. Maybe He's drawing you closer. Every hardship comes with a wisdom, even if you can't decode it yet. So don't resist the storm rise with it, with Allah in your heart. Your confusion does not mean Allah has forgotten you. It means He's working on a plan that requires you to let go of control, to step back, to breathe, to say, Ya Allah, I don't understand this, but I know you do. So I will trust you even through the tears. So often we want a straight path. But straight paths don't always lead to growth. It's in the detours, the pauses, the heartbreaks that Allah refines us. You are not being punished, you are being prepared. Allah never wastes your pain. Sometimes we confuse delay with denial. But Allah's delay is not a rejection, it's a rearrangement. He is putting things in place that you don't even know you'll need. And when the time is right, you'll see that everything fell together better than you could have imagined. When your heart is filled with confusion, fill your tongue with dhikr. Let your soul speak even when your mind cannot comprehend. Say, Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakeel. Say, Innamal usri yusra. These are not just words, they are anchors in a stormy sea. And finally, my dear brothers and sisters, remember, just because you don't understand the plan doesn't mean the plan isn't good. It means you're in the middle of the journey, not the end. Hold on. Trust the author of your story. He is never wrong. He is never late. And His plan is always perfect. Delays are not denials. They're divine redirections. My beloved brothers and sisters, when something we deeply desire is delayed, our hearts often fall into sadness. We start to wonder if Allah has said no, if our du'as have been ignored. But delay is not denial, it is a divine message. Not now, but trust me. The delay could be a shield from harm or preparation for something better. Allah knows the perfect time to give you what you ask for. Sometimes you're asking for rain, but your land isn't ready to absorb it. So Allah holds it back until your heart, your character and your situation can truly benefit from the blessing. That's not rejection, that's mercy in disguise. We live in a world that glorifies speed, fast results, instant success, quick answers. But Allah works through timeless wisdom. He delays not because He's withholding, but because He's arranging. Behind every delay is a silent shift, a quiet realignment that you cannot yet see. If you were given everything you asked for, exactly when you asked, you might miss out on the growth that waiting brings. Allah delays so you develop sabr. He delays so your intentions can purify. He delays so you rely more on Him and less on the world. Look at the life of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu. Victory did not come immediately. Years of patience, hardship and silence preceded the moments of triumph. But every delay led to something greater character, greater reward, greater nearness to Allah. When you feel delayed, ask yourself, what is Allah trying to teach me in this pause? Maybe it's not a stop, it's a spiritual reroute. Maybe you're being saved from a disaster you don't even know was coming. Allah's delays are often divine redirections from roads we should never walk. Sometimes what you want isn't ready. Other times, you're not ready. Allah knows what you can carry. He knows what would break you. He knows when you'll appreciate the blessing most. So He holds it until the timing brings both safety and spiritual growth. Don't let shaitan convince you that silence from Allah means rejection. Allah's silence is often His way of drawing you closer, teaching you to trust without conditions, to love Him without transactions, to wait with grace instead of complaint. Delays humble us. They strip away arrogance. They remind us that we are not the planners, we are the servants. The delay might teach you more than the blessing ever could. The lesson might be greater than the result. And sometimes Allah delays a small thing to give you a greater one later. You cry over what's missing, while Allah is planning to surprise you with something far beyond what you even knew to ask. That's the beauty of His knowledge. It sees your future in ways your heart cannot. So, next time you feel discouraged because of a delay, remember, the clock you watch is not the same clock Allah uses. His timing is divine, it is flawless, and it is rooted in love. Don't rush what Allah is perfecting. Trust that a delay today could be the reason for peace tomorrow. You are not being rejected, you are being redirected, you are not being left behind, you are being guided forward. Allah never forgets. He's simply moving you into something better at the perfect time. Every test is a step toward your growth. My beloved brothers and sisters, the tests you face in life are not punishments, they are steps. Steps toward who you are meant to become. Allah does not test you to break you, He tests you to build you. Just like fire purifies gold, your trials purify your heart, strengthen your soul, and teach you what comfort never could. Growth never comes from ease. It is in hardship that your heart turns to Allah with sincerity. It is in pain that your du'as become raw and real. And it is through tears that your faith often finds its depth. Don't see your test as a wall blocking. You see it as a door opening to a higher version of yourself. When you're tested, it's not a sign of Allah's anger. In fact, the Prophet ﷺ said the most beloved people to Allah are tested the most. Why? Because their hearts are strong enough to handle the refinement. Every difficulty is Allah preparing you for something greater. Sometimes the test is loss. Sometimes it's loneliness, other times it's silence. But in every one of these, Allah is stretching your heart so it can hold more light, more patience, more trust. He is not trying to destroy you, He is trying to awaken the version of you that you've never met. Growth doesn't mean the pain disappears, it means you learn how to rise through it. You become more resilient, more aware, more dependent on Allah. And slowly what once made you cry becomes what taught you how to stand taller than before. Allah already knows how strong you are. The test is not to show Him, it's to show you. It's to reveal your hidden strengths, your capacity to endure, your ability to heal, and to still choose faith when faith feels hard. The beauty of a test is not in passing it, it's in the transformation that happens while you're walking through it. You begin with fear and confusion, but you exit with clarity and strength. That is how Allah grows your soul through storms, not through sunshine. Every time you are patient, you earn reward. Every time you trust Allah through uncertainty, you grow closer to Him. The test is temporary, but the growth it brings stays with you long after the hardship ends. You don't walk away the same. Some of your biggest blessings will come wrapped in trials. What breaks your routine often builds your character. What you call a setback may actually be the setup for a spiritual rise you never expected. Allah sees what this moment is shaping you for. You may feel like you're stuck in difficulty, but in reality you are in divine training. Allah is building your spiritual muscles. You are being equipped for responsibilities, roles or rewards that require this exact level of growth. Instead of asking, why me? Ask, what is Allah trying to teach me through this? That shift in mindset turns the test from a burden into a lesson. And lessons, when embraced with sabr, become ladders toward nearness to Allah. So the next time you face a test, don't only pray for it to be removed. Pray to become the person Allah is calling you to be through it. Because every test, no matter how heavy, is a step. And when Allah guides your steps, they always lead to something greater. You don't see the full picture, but Allah does. My beloved brothers and sisters, sometimes life feels like a puzzle with missing pieces. You try to understand what's happening, but nothing makes sense. The pain, the delays, the unanswered prayers, they feel unfair. But always remember, you are looking at just one piece. Allah sees the full picture. We only see the now, the struggle, the fear, the unanswered dua. But Allah sees where it's all going. He sees the lessons forming, the future unfolding, the strength growing inside of you. And sometimes what feels like a setback is actually a sacred redirection. Imagine if a child wanted to touch fire. From their perspective, stopping them might feel like injustice, but as a parent, you know better. Likewise, Allah withholds or redirects us because He knows the pain we cannot see and the protection we do not understand yet. What you cry about today may be the very thing you will thank Allah for tomorrow. That heartbreak, that closed door, that disappointment, it may be shielding you from a storm that would have broken you. Allah sees that storm, even when you don't. We often want clarity, but faith begins where sight ends. You may not understand now, but your job is not to understand everything. It's to trust the one who does. Let your confusion lead you to tawakkul, not to despair. When things don't go as planned, don't say, why is this happening to me? Say, Ya Allah, I trust you even when I don't see. That is true belief. That is surrender. And that is when you will find peace in the unseen plan of the Almighty. Every detour has a destination. You may not be where you wanted to be, but you are exactly where Allah wants you. That job you didn't get, that person who left, that opportunity that slipped, it's all part of a divine story, far greater than what your eyes can see. We look at the moment, but Allah looks at the journey. We chase comfort, but Allah is sculpting character. You want ease today, but Allah wants strength that will carry you for years. Sometimes the blessing is in what didn't happen. If Allah showed you the entire map of your life, you'd fall into sujood out of gratitude for the blessings you didn't see and the disasters He silently kept away. You only saw the blocked road. He saw the accident ahead that never touched you. There are times when you'll only understand the wisdom of this season years later. And when you look back, you'll say, Subhanallah, now I see why it had to happen that way. The full picture is always clearer in hindsight, but Allah had it from the beginning. Don't judge your life based on one chapter. The pain you're in now is not the end of your story. Allah doesn't abandon His servants. He prepares them. What feels like a delay may be the pause before a beautiful rise. Allah doesn't owe us explanations. He offers us wisdom, and if we trust Him, we will see how every no was preparing us for a better yes. Every silence was protecting us, and every delay was perfectly timed. You might think, if only this happened, but Allah knows what would have happened after that. He's not just planning your moment, He's planning your eternity. So don't lose faith when things don't go your way. Sometimes He's saving you from yourself. There's relief in knowing you're not in control, because you might ruin the plan if you were. But Allah, He never makes mistakes. His knowledge is complete, His mercy is vast, and His plan is always rooted in love. So today, surrender the need to know everything. Trust that Allah sees the full picture, and believe that if you hold on to Him, even in confusion, He will write a story more beautiful than anything you could have imagined. A story with Jannah at the end. Letting go of control is part of true tawakkul. My dear brothers and sisters, sometimes we hold on so tightly to our plans, thinking that if we just try hard enough, everything will work out exactly as we imagined. But true tawakkul, true trust in Allah begins when we loosen our grip and hand over the pen. Allah's plan is always better than ours. Letting go of control doesn't mean giving up. It means doing your best and then leaving the results to Allah. It's understanding that you plant the seed, but only Allah sends the rain. You take the step, but only He clears the path. We live in a world that praises self-reliance and control, but Islam teaches us that real strength lies in surrender. Not surrender to the situation, but to the one who manages it all. When you let go, you're not being weak, you're being wise. The Prophet ﷺ placed his trust in Allah even in the darkest of moments. In the cave, surrounded by enemies, he said, "Do not be sad, indeed Allah is with us." He didn't panic. He didn't lose hope. That is tawakkul in action. Control is an illusion. You don't control the outcomes. You don't control people's hearts. You don't control how life unfolds. You control your effort, your faith, and your attitude. The rest, that belongs to Allah. Letting go is freeing. When you try to control everything, you burden yourself with stress and anxiety. But when you place your trust in Allah, your heart breathes. You begin to experience calm in the chaos and peace in the unknown. Some of your greatest pain comes from trying to force what's not written for you. You push, you beg, you exhaust yourself. But what if you paused and trusted? What if you let go, knowing that Allah's plan is already unfolding in your favor? Tawakkul doesn't mean inaction. It means intention followed by surrender. You tie your cameland, then you trust. You apply, prepare and strive, and then you say, "Ya Allah, I leave it in your hands. I trust your wisdom more than my desire." When you let go of control, you leave space for Allah to show you what you couldn't see. You stop trying to force closed doors and start walking through the ones He opens. It's in that surrender that miracles happen. Sometimes we confuse control with responsibility. Yes, we are responsible for our choices, but not for the outcomes. The results are in Allah's hands, and He knows what we do not. That's why faith means trusting even when it doesn't make sense. True tawakkul is saying, "Ya Allah, I've done my part, now I trust you with the rest." It's praying through tears and still believing that the answer, whatever it may be, is good for you. That's not weakness. That's deep spiritual strength. Letting go also means trusting Allah with your timing. When things don't happen as fast as you want, you may feel forgotten. But trust me, Allah's delay is never His denial. He's preparing the blessing and preparing you to receive it. If you always need to feel in control to feel safe, you'll live in fear. But if you trust that Allah controls it all, even the chaos starts to feel manageable. Tawakkul shifts your anxiety into peace and your fear into patience. You don't need to know how everything will unfold. You just need to know that Allah is with you, and that's more than enough. Let go of needing all the answers. Have tawakkul and watch how Allah answers in ways your heart never imagined. So breathe, dear believer. Do your best. Make sincere dua and then release the weight of outcomes. Trust that what Allah has planned is far greater than what you were trying to control. That is tawakkul. That is true freedom. Hardships are preparing you for what you asked for. My brothers and sisters, sometimes you ask Allah for strength and He sends you a trial that demands it. You ask for patience and He places you in a situation that tests it. You ask for growth and He gives you discomfort that forces it. This is not cruelty. This is preparation. We often pray for greatness without realizing that greatness is carved through hardship. You don't become resilient through ease. You become it through struggle. What you are facing right now might be the answer to a dua you made with tears. You may not see it now, but every difficulty is shaping you into the person capable of holding what you asked for. If you knew what it takes to carry the blessings you want, you'd understand why Allah is putting you through this process. The Prophet ﷺ faced unimaginable hardships, loss, exile, betrayal, but each trial was building him for his mission. The path to Jannah was never promised to be easy, but it was promised to be worth it. This life is training ground for the soul. When you ask Allah for peace, He might remove the people or distractions disturbing it. When you ask for success, He might first remove the pride or habits that will sabotage it. Trust that the pain has a purpose. It's not random. Some of the greatest transformations happen in moments of complete breakdown. You fall to your knees, you call out to Allah, and in that vulnerability your heart begins to change. Hardships don't just build you, they cleanse you. You might be asking, why now? But Allah knows your tomorrow. He sees the challenges you can't yet see. So He strengthens your foundation today through struggle so that you don't collapse under the blessings. He's preparing for you. It's easy to love Allah when life is sweet, but true love is proven when things get bitter. If you're still worshipping, still praying, still holding on through the storm, that's a sign of a believer whose faith is being refined. You may have asked Allah to take you higher, not realizing that climbing requires effort. The path up isn't flat. It's steep, exhausting, and sometimes lonely. But every step builds the strength to reach the top. Even the delay you're frustrated with might be divine protection. You're not being punished, you're being prepared. What feels like being held back might be Allah holding you still until you're truly ready for what you've asked Him for. When the hardship is intense, remember, gold is purified by fire. Diamonds are formed under pressure. The believer is polished by trials. Don't curse the difficulty. Thank Allah for seeing potential in you worth refining. What you're facing right now might not feel like preparation, but it is. It's growing your heart, your resilience, your character. When the blessing finally arrives, you'll realize you're not the same person who asked for it. You're stronger. Sometimes Allah doesn't remove the hardship. He transforms you within it. He turns your fear into tawakkul, your weakness into worship, and your pain into purpose. You become someone who not only carries the blessing, but protects it. If life was always easy, we'd never grow, we'd never reflect, we'd never seek Allah with the same desperation. Hardship brings humility, and humility brings closeness to Allah. That closeness is more valuable than the ease we chase. So don't be discouraged by what's difficult, be grateful. Say, Ya Allah, I trust that You are preparing me for more than I can imagine. Let this hardship be my training, not my breaking. And trust He always prepares you for what He promised. What you lose was never meant for you. My beloved brothers and sisters, not everything you lose is a loss. Sometimes it's Allah's way of freeing you from what was quietly harming your heart. We often mourn what leaves us, not realizing that it was never written to stay. When something is written for you, it won't miss you.